I was thinking of calling you on this day, but I think you were getting ready for one of your final games of the year. The passing of Tommy Lasorda, Al. I know you've got some great stories, including how you first met him, right? I think that's from your book, If You Can't Make This Up. I'll give you the floor on your memories of Tommy, and tell that one story about how you met him.
Well,
Al.
When I was announcing the Hawaii Islanders in the Pacific Coast League, AAA baseball, starting in 1968, and I was there 3 years, our big rival were the Spokane Indians, and they were the Dodger Farm Club and the AAA Farm Club. And because of travel, the Indians would come over twice a year, and they'd spend the entire week there. So I got to know Steve Garvey, Bobby Valentine, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, Ron Say, that's the team, Bill Buckner, all those guys are playing with the team, and Lasorda's the manager. And then Tommy loves to tell this story. It's a little bit embellished, but very close to the truth. He always has contended he discovered me, because after every game in Hawaii, he would have to call Al Campanis, then the general manager of the Dodgers, and report in on how all of the guys had done. Garvey did this, Buckner did this, Lopes did this, et cetera, et cetera. So one night he tells Campanis, he said, "Hey, Al," he said, "You know, I know you got Vin Scully, and Vinny's great and everything. There's a guy over here, though. There's a young guy doing these games on the radio. This guy is really terrific. Al Michaels is his name. You know, you should keep an eye on him." So Campanis doesn't say anything at first, and then at the end of the conversation, according to Tommy, Campanis says, "Hey, Tommy, this kid you're talking about, this Michaels guy, how do you know he's any good?" And Tommy says, "I've been thrown out of the last 4 games. I'm out in the clubhouse listening to him." so what had happened was Lasorda, one night he gets thrown out in the 3rd inning of a game. Now, in Hawaii, the clubhouse wasn't behind the dugout. You'd have to walk all the way out through center field, 425 feet, get serenaded by the fans, and then another 100 feet to a ramshackle clubhouse. You could not sneak back in. Truly, you'd have to listen to the radio. So that's the 3rd inning. So I know he's listening to me for 7 innings one night. The next night, he's so angry, he comes out, he gives the lineup card to the umpires. He gets thrown out with the lineup card. And irony of ironies, you know who the umpire at home plate that night was? Bruce Fremming, who would go on to have the longest umpiring career in Major League history.
Amazing.
He would go to the majors. So this is crazy stuff. He gets thrown out again. Now he's listening to me the whole game. The next game he did last. He lasted the game, and then the following game he got thrown out in like the 6th or 7th inning. So Tommy truly was able to hear me do, probably 20 innings of baseball. And so he always loved to tell that story. And, of course, I love the fact that Tommy was such a big part of my life. He was just a wonderful man on so many levels, so many.
And just, an ambassador, a character, and a damn good manager, Hall of Fame manager, former teammate of Jackie Robinson's with the Brooklyn Dodgers, like a true Dodger through and through, Al.
Yeah.
And so he says basically that's how you got your first major league broadcasting gig, that you got passed along to the Giants?
I wound up going to Cincinnati, of course, one of the Dodgers' great rivals.
Right.
He goes as a coach under Walt Alston with the Dodgers. So Tommy and I went all the way back. And in fact, when I got a nice honor about 6 or 7 years ago, I had Tommy come up and present it for me. So and I'll tell you another thing too. He was in the hospital, and I got the Ford Frick Award recently, which was totally surprising and shocking and wonderful for me. And he called me. His caretaker called me and said, "Can you talk to Tommy?" I said, "Of course." This was about a month ago. He did not sound well, but it was unbelievable to hear from Tommy Lasorda, and I was so happy when I heard that he was out of the hospital, but clearly he had been taken home to die at home. And one of a kind. What a wonderful, wonderful man.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.